What's up YouTube, this is AlphonZeus of TeamIronMan12, and here I am with an updated deck profile on Angel Feathers. My deck is called the Angel Feather Exchange. Starting Vanguard, Hope Child Tyrael. She is the best starting Vanguard for Angel Feathers, and one of the best starting Vanguards in the entire game. Because pretty much her skill is, while there's an Angel Feather Vanguard, counterblast 1, put her into the soul, put a card from your hand onto the damage zone, and then get a card from the damage zone back into your hand. Therefore, she can actually save you from being grade locked. So, pretty much say if you have a grade 3 and you damage check it, usually you think, crap, I'm screwed. Or, if you have this one, then you can say, alright, ride my grade 2, activate, put down a card that I don't need, grab a grade 3, congratulations, you're no longer grade locked. And she's definitely great for that purpose. Very good. Highly recommend if you're going to be running the Angel Feather deck. She is definitely the best starting Vanguard until the Superior Ride would come out. So now, let's move on to the triggers. I run 8 crits. So that's 4 Rocket Dash Unicorn, 4 Critical Hit Angels. Critical Hit Angel is especially important because her skill is put her into the soul from the rear guard, and one of your Angel Feather units gets plus 3k. That's great when you reach that point of no return and you want to push for game. And finally, I run 4 draw triggers. Now pretty much if Angel Feathers had a second draw trigger, I would run 2 in place of 2 of the critical triggers, Rocket Dash Unicorn, because Angel Feathers is a very hand-controlled deck. Because you have to have a healthy hand if you want to be able to do a lot of the stuff that is pretty much broken in Angel Feathers. Let's move on to the grade 1s. I run 3 of Pure Keeper Requiem, the Perfect Guard. I only run 3 of her because pretty much even if you damage check her, you can just get her back with Hope Child or Shamsil. Therefore, you don't have to worry about one of your Perfect Guards going to waste. The only time where you have to worry is if you have to ride her. Which kind of sucks, but you know what? As long as you complete your ride and don't have a misride, which is probably one of the worst feelings in the world. I run 1 of Clutch Rifle Angel. This guy is pretty much the best when he's boosting the Vanguard. Because say, when it boosts, if I have equal or more cards in the damage zone than my opponent, then pretty much he boosts for 10 instead of 6. This is amazing because, especially when it gets to late game and I don't have that strong of a hand or no hand at all, he can still boost for 10. And he can support Kyriel, he can support Kyriel, he can support Phoenix Calamity Angel and Shamsil, hitting at least 20k. But since it's only for the Vanguard, I only won 1 of him. The next, I run 4 of 1000 Ray Pegasus. This guy is definitely the ideal booster of the deck. Even though he boosts for 7, each time a card is placed on the damage zone, he gains 2k. That's great, because pretty much, if say you have to ride him on grade 1, and this guy wants to do a grade 1 rush against you, pretty much, if you have him there and you damage check any card, this guy goes up to 9k already. That's great, and if he gets a trigger, he goes up to 14k. On defense. So that's definitely good if you want to, ride a Pegasus. I run 3 of Doctoid Micros. The skill is this is self-damaging units. So Vanguard or Rear, call it a Vanguard or Rear Guard circle, counterblast 1, take the top card of your deck, place it onto the damage zone. At the end phase, take one of the cards from the damage zone and shuffle it back into the deck. This is great because he recycles triggers, and plus he gets to add bonuses onto several of the Angel Feather units in this deck. However, I do not max him out at 4 because once I hit 5 damage, if I use Doctor and Micro skill, I will lose. Because it's at the drive check that if I drive check and I have 6 damage, I already lose. Because it's only through cards like Shamsil and stuff that do have immediate. This one does not resolve until the end phase. Therefore, be very careful when you use this card. When you're at 5 damage, do not use Doctoid Micros. He only becomes, a guard card in your hand. Finally, I run 2 Burst Shot Nathaniel. This guy's great because if I can't get off the Limit Break, if I can't get off any of the exchange, strategy, he's at least a solid 8k, and he can boost for at least a pretty good number. Now let's move on to grade 2s. I run 2 of Doctoid Micros. Again, this is like a self-damaging unit, except that, you know, it's a grade 2. So Counterblast 1, when it's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard circle, take top card, put it on damage zone, end phase, put card in damage zone, shuffle it back into the deck. Great for recycling triggers, great for putting cards on the damage zone to boost up my Angel Feather units. However, please be careful, do not use this card, Doctoid Megalos, or Doctoid Micros when you're at 5 damage, because you will lose once you activate that skill. Next, I went 2 Gatling Shark Barbio. This guy's great because, you know, I can always ride him as a Vanguard, and he'll be a solid 10k, so I don't have to worry about, like, you know, damage zone or whatnot, and plus he can be a pretty good threat onto the battlefield, whether Vanguard or Rearguard circle. So I need some, like, consistent, like, strong people in this deck. I run 4 of Million Ray Pegasus. This is the grade 2 version of 1000 Ray, in which that he starts out at 9k, but each time a card is placed onto the damage zone, he gains 2k. Therefore, you can always ride him on defense. So if you ride him for your grade 2, if you get a card in the damage zone, he goes up to 11, and if he had a trigger, then he actually goes up to 16. So that's really amazing in terms of defense, and that's why I run 4 of him. He makes an ideal Rearguard, but, you know, that's always good for, you know, the exchange strategy. Finally, I run 4 of Core Memory. It's pretty much the Counterblast 2. If it hits, you draw a card. This type of card actually goes the best with Angel Feathers, because with the exchange strategy going on, you actually get to exchange cards from your damage zone, technically unflipping them. So therefore, each time when it attacks, your opponent will be forced to guard every single time. Because, you know, with all the exchange going on, you're going to have a lot of unflipped damage, and therefore I run 4 of her. For my grade 3 lineup, I run 4 of the Phoenix Calamity Flame. Again, this is like the grade 3 version of the Pegasus series. So each time a card is placed onto the damage zone, you gain 2k. If a trigger is placed onto the damage zone, not only do you gain the 2k, but the 5k on top of that. So she becomes 17k. That's amazing, because it can definitely make your opponent harder to hit, and it will make it easier for you to guard. And finally, the persona of the deck. 4 of Chief Nurse Shamshil. She pretty much brings the whole deck together, because, again, she's like the Pegasus series. Each time a card is placed on the damage zone, she gains 2k. But her Limit Break is actually very effective as well, because Limit Break 4, when she attacks before drive check or anything, place a card into the damage zone, and then get a card from the damage zone back into your hand. Therefore, she already starts off at 12k. And that's amazing, because behind 1000 Ray, you pretty much hit 21k. Behind Clutch Rifle Angel, you hit 22k. That's amazing. So that's why I run 4 of her, because I want to make sure that she will be the one getting that Vanguard spot. Because, believe me, she brings the whole deck together, and she also kind of helps, you know, recycle cards, and therefore she along, you know, with Hope Chalteria, she makes your damage zone look like an extension of your hand. Because, and the thing is, though, it's welcome too, because, like, I may have a lot of damage cards on my hand, but believe me, I can get the right cards to guard with, and then I can swing for game. And that's it for my Angel Feather Exchange deck profile. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to have more deck profiles coming up soon, because right now, I'm with, like, OTT, Pale Moon, Angel Feathers and stuff. I like those clans. Those are very good. But with the new clan coming up, Bermuda Triangle, I am definitely going to make a clan out of that. So expect a deck profile for Bermuda Triangle to come out maybe within a week or so after the launch of the box set. And that's it for me, AlphonZeus of TeamIronMan12. I'll see